Have you ever felt like you were running in circles, doing everything you were told, following every ritual, practicing every method, yet nothing truly shifts in your life? No matter how hard you try, the reality still looks the same, maybe even heavier, maybe even further away from the dream you keep chasing. And deep down, you start to wonder if something is wrong with you. You wake up early to write affirmations. You visualize until your head aches. You script your future. You repeat positive words like a mantra. But as the days pass, the bills still pile up, the stress still lingers, and the life you long for seems like it is always tomorrow, never today. The truth is, the problem is not that you are lazy or that you lack discipline. It is not that you missed the perfect secret technique. The real issue is hidden beneath the surface, and it has been, quietly draining your power without you even noticing. The more you do, the more you push, the louder the signal of lack becomes, and instead of attracting what you desire, you are broadcasting a message of emptiness, and the universe responds to that message with precision. This is what experts call spiritual fatigue, the invisible exhaustion that happens when the energy under every action is fear, doubt, and scarcity, and once it takes over, no amount of journaling or visualization can override it. Science has even shown this. Research from the HeartMath Institute revealed that when a person is anxious, the rhythm of the heart loses harmony. The energy field becomes chaotic, and the natural signal that connects you to possibility is broken. This is why you can say the words, but still feel the opposite inside. Sarah from California lived this exact cycle. She spent thousands of dollars, bought every manifestation course, practiced every ritual for an entire year, yet instead of abundance, she ended with more debt and more despair, only to realize that it was not the tools that failed her, but the energy of worry she carried into each attempt. So if you have felt this same frustration, if you are tired of doing more but seeing less, let this moment be your wake-up call. Type the word I in the comments as your sign of awareness, and ask yourself this question: if the problem is not in what you do, then where is it really coming from? It lies in the frequency of energy you release in every single moment. You can speak all the right words. You can repeat every affirmation. But if inside your chest your heart beats with panic each time the bills arrive, the universe responds. Not to your sentences, but to the vibration under them. Language is only the shell. It is the cover, the decoration. What carries the real message is your body, your emotions, the tiny microsignals you do not notice, yet they echo louder than your voice. Think about it. You say, "I am wealthy," while your palms sweat, your jaw clenches, and your stomach tightens. That silent language travels further than your lips, and that is what life mirrors back to you. Scientists have studied this for years. A study from UCLA showed that more than 90% of human communication is nonverbal. It is expressed in tone, feeling, and physical response. Your energy works in the same way. It is never fooled by the phrases you try to mask it with. When your heart rhythm is anxious, the signal becomes chaotic, and the field around you turns unstable. That chaos is what others sense and what opportunities pick up on. Words without resonance are like a song sung out of tune. John, in New York, lived this lesson. He was a young entrepreneur, full of ambition, telling himself and others, "I am successful." But each time he sat across from an investor, his body betrayed him. His shoulders tightened, his voice cracked, his energy radiated tension. What did he attract? Rejection after rejection. It was not until he learned to embody success, to breathe into his chest, and truly feel calm confidence, that his reality shifted. When he mastered the vibration of success, investors began to lean in, doors opened, deals closed. This is the paradox many never see. The mind shouts, the body whispers, but the universe listens to the whisper. So if you have ever said one thing while feeling another, know that you were sending mixed signals, and mixed signals bring mixed results. The change begins when you align your spoken word with your felt energy, when the phrase matches the pulse. That is when manifestation becomes magnetic. If you have noticed yourself trapped in this conflict, type a fire emoji in the comments as your act of release. Let it be your signal that you are done with false energy. And now the question arises for you to hold. Why does the body betray what the mind wants so badly? Because your body remembers fear and scarcity longer than your mind ever does. You may think you have let go of the past. You may sit in meditation, repeating words of peace. Yet only minutes later, your chest tightens and the thought of unpaid bills creeps back in. That is not weakness. That is memory. The nervous system holds onto emotional imprints like scars carved into muscle. These imprints are invisible but powerful. Each time you faced lack, each time you felt unsafe, your body recorded the sensation. And unlike thoughts that drift away, the body repeats them as signals, as tension, as restlessness. This is why your energy keeps broadcasting scarcity even when your mind begs for abundance. Science confirms it. In the groundbreaking work, the body keeps the score. Bessel van der Kolk reveals that trauma and emotional wounds embed themselves deep inside the nervous system. The body does not forget. It reacts as if the old threat is happening now. This is why people freeze, panic, or shut down even when life appears stable. Take Maria from Texas. Years ago, she lost everything to bankruptcy. Later, she rebuilt, found a stable job, and earned well. Yet each time she opened her banking app, her stomach dropped, her hands shook, her breath shortened. The fear of losing again haunted her body, even when her reality no longer matched the old story. That fear created energetic ripples that kept attracting financial problems, missed opportunities, sudden expenses. It was not the numbers on her account that kept her stuck. It was the echo of past pain replaying through her nervous system. Many of us live this way. We declare freedom with words, but our bodies whisper danger. We affirm safety, yet our shoulders curl forward as if preparing for another blow. Until you recognize this memory of fear living inside, you cannot shift the vibration you send out. Your body is the hidden broadcaster, and it must be freed before new signals can take hold. If you feel this truth inside you, if you recognize that your body is carrying old echoes, write the words "I set myself free" in the comments. Let that be your declaration, because awareness is the first release, and release is the first step to real change. And so the question now becomes, how do you break out of this loop of memory and fear that keeps playing inside you? You break free by stopping the chase for endless techniques and choosing clarity instead. Most people fall into the trap of doing more, piling rituals upon rituals, scripting in the morning, journaling at noon, affirmations at night, and still feeling drained at the end of the day. The exhaustion does not come from effort alone. It comes from scattering energy in 1,000 directions. The universe does not respond to the number of actions. It responds to the purity of the signal you send. One clear intention, aligned with your body and heart, carries more force than 10 fragmented practices. Imagine sound waves. When they are out of sync, they cancel each other out. But when they move in coherence, they amplify, growing stronger with each beat. Quantum physics shows this phenomenon clearly. Coherence multiplies power. Your energy works the same way. If you mix longing with fear, affirmation with doubt, ritual with stress, the signals cancel, leaving static. But when you send one clear frequency, undiluted, the response is exponential. James from Silicon Valley learned this the hard way. As a startup founder, he poured himself into 10 different marketing strategies at once. He hustled day and night, tried every funnel, every trick, every hack. But the results were flat. His team was burning out, and money was running out fast. Then he made a radical decision. He stopped everything except one clear approach that resonated with his vision. Within 6 months, revenue tripled. Not because he worked harder, but because his signal became clear. You may be doing the same in your own way. Trying too many paths, hoping one will stick. But clarity is not about adding. It is about subtracting until what remains is pure. When you choose clarity, you stop leaking energy. You stop exhausting your nervous system. You start moving with ease, and that ease is magnetic. If you have ever found yourself stuck in the cycle of overdoing, comment "I choose clarity," and let that be the moment you step into coherence. This choice is the beginning of real power, because clarity is not complicated. It is alignment, and alignment is what the universe reflects. Back with precision. The only question now is this: how do you actually create that clarity and coherence in your life so your signal becomes undeniable? You gain clarity by creating harmony between the mind, the heart, and the body. This is what coherence truly means. It is the state where every part of you speaks the same language. You say "I trust," and your breath is calm, your pulse steady, your muscles relaxed. There is no inner conflict. Your system moves as one. Most people never experience this fully because they are split inside. The mouth says one thing, the chest says another, and the gut says something else. That lack of harmony sends out confusion. When the body feels unsafe, the mind gets restless, and the heart closes. Energy becomes scattered. But when coherence is present, everything aligns. Your nervous system relaxes, your focus sharpens, and your emotions stabilize. You radiate a signal that is both pure and attractive. Science proves this. The HeartMath Institute discovered that when a person feels genuine gratitude, their heart rhythm falls into a smooth, synchronized pattern. That state of heart coherence creates stability not just inside the body, but in the electromagnetic field around it. Others feel it. Life responds to it. Linda from Florida discovered this in a simple way. Instead of repeating affirmations all day, she dedicated just 3 minutes to slow breathing while holding the feeling of gratitude. She did it daily, without pressure, without force. Within weeks, she noticed subtle changes. Her stress dropped. Her confidence grew, and out of nowhere came an invitation for her dream job. Not because she chased harder, but because her energy spoke clearly. That is the power of coherence. You do not need endless rituals. You need alignment. When your mind focuses, your body feels safe, and your heart opens. You become magnetic. Opportunities, people, and circumstances gravitate toward that stable frequency. Imagine how different your life would be if your entire system moved as one. No mixed signals, no hidden resistance, just coherence. If you are ready to feel this state yourself, write "I am in coherence" in the comments. Claim it as your choice today, because coherence is not far away. It begins with one breath, one shift, one moment of harmony. And yet the real challenge is not reaching coherence once, it is keeping it alive. So the question that now arises is this: what is it that prevents us from sustaining this powerful state of alignment over time? It is control itself. The tighter you try to hold on, the faster the energy slips away. This is the hidden enemy that most people never notice. You may say you trust, you may practice affirmations, yet at the same time you check your phone. Every hour for a message, you refresh your bank app to see if money has appeared. You scan your email for a sign that things are moving. Each time you check, you are sending out the signal that you do not believe. Control is not confidence. Control is fear disguised as effort. Psychology calls this the obsessive checking loop. The nervous system interprets it as danger. Cortisol rises, the body goes into alert mode, and the energy you emit becomes chaotic. Instead of drawing what you want closer, it pushes it away. It tells the field around you that you do not trust the process. Think about it. Every time you grasp tighter, what you desire feels further. That is because your focus is on the absence, not the presence. The universe reflects absence back to you, and the cycle repeats. Mike from Chicago knew this struggle. Well, as a broker, he spent months refreshing his inbox, pacing his office, waiting for clients who never came. The more he checked, the more empty it felt. Finally, he gave up, not on his dream, but on the compulsion to control. He started spending afternoons in the park, meeting friends, playing basketball again. Within a week, a major client called him and signed a deal. The shift did not happen because he tried harder, but because he stopped strangling the outcome. He let go and opened space for flow. This is why control is such a trap. It feels like action, but it is resistance. Letting go does not mean giving up. It means choosing trust over fear. If you have ever felt trapped in this loop, write "I release" in the comments and let that word be your signal of freedom. Release the grip, release the stress, release the loop. When you do, you reclaim your energy. But here arises a deeper question that cannot be ignored. If letting go of control is the first step, what do we actually do with our energy once we finally loosen the grip? When you let go, you move from the energy of lack to the energy of trust. That shift is subtle, but it changes everything. Letting go does not mean abandoning your dream. It does not mean giving up on what matters. It means releasing the obsession with timing, with how, with when. It means creating space for life to breathe. Imagine pausing for a moment, exhaling, and realizing that the weight on your chest is not destiny, but pressure you placed there. In that instant of surrender, you feel lighter, softer, more open. That is the power of letting go. Neuroscience shows that in this state the brain moves into alpha waves, a rhythm connected to creativity, openness, and opportunity. In alpha, the body relaxes, the heart steadies, and ideas flow naturally. Compare that to the tension of stress, where cortisol clouds judgment and every door looks closed. The universe responds differently when you radiate ease instead of desperation. Emily from Seattle lived this lesson. After months of begging for a job and sending countless applications, she reached a breaking point. One morning, she decided to stop pushing. She took a day for herself, packed a small bag, and went hiking in the mountains. With no signal, no emails, no checking, she let herself feel the air and hear the silence. That same day, while she was walking under tall pines, an email arrived in her inbox with an interview invitation. It was not magic in the way people imagine, it was alignment. When she let go, her energy shifted. She was no longer sending signals of panic, but of peace. And that peace drew in the opportunity. This is what letting go really means. You still hold the dream, but you hold it with open hands, not clenched fists. You allow it to arrive in its timing. You choose trust instead of fear. If you are ready to test this energy of release, comment, "I trust," and declare it. Feel the relief in your body as you say it. Letting go is not an ending, it is a beginning. Yet a question remains. If letting go opens the space, how do we transform from the state of wanting into the state of being, where the dream is no longer a chase but a reality lived now? You shift by becoming the version of yourself who already has it. That is the doorway from wanting into being. When you say, "I want wealth," you tell the world you do not have it. The signal of lack is strong. But when you step into the thought, "I am wealthy, I live in abundance," your body, your emotions, and your energy begin to align with that truth. The universe mirrors being, not longing. Wanting pulls from scarcity. Being radiates completion. This is why the shift is not about forcing outcomes, but about embodying the identity of the person who already lives that reality. Neuroscience explains this through neuroplasticity. When you act as if you are already that version, your brain wires new connections. Those networks reinforce beliefs, behaviors, and emotions that match your chosen identity. Each repetition strengthens the pattern until it becomes natural. Imagine the difference. A person saying, "I want to be confident," will continue to search for confidence. A person saying, "I am confident," begins to walk differently, speak differently, and eventually the world responds to that vibration. Robert in Denver experienced this directly. For years he wished for a creative career, always saying, "One day I will be an artist." Nothing changed. Then he chose differently. He began painting daily, not waiting for permission, not waiting for a gallery. He shared his work online as though he already was the artist he dreamed of being. Within a month, he received his first paid commission for a painting. The outside world reflected what he had already chosen to become on the inside. That is the true power of identity. It is not about pretending. It is about claiming and living now what you desire to embody. If you feel ready to step into this shift, comment "I am" and let it anchor in your heart. Feel how different it is to say "I am" instead of "I want." Notice how your chest expands, how your breath deepens, how your energy lifts when you affirm it. This is the essence of being, yet a challenge arises. Once you step into this identity, how can you simplify and sustain this state every day without falling back into old wanting patterns? You sustain it by letting go of complexity and choosing simplicity. This is the secret most people overlook. The ego loves to build layers of rituals, tasks, and endless checklists because it feels safe when it has control. Yet the universe does not respond to layers, it responds to clarity. One pure signal is stronger than 100 scattered practices. When you simplify, your energy becomes clean, aligned, and powerful. Imagine dropping the heavy bag of techniques you carry every morning. Instead of chasing 10 steps, you sit for 5 minutes, breathe deeply, and feel gratitude. That 5 minutes becomes a gateway to shift your entire day. Positive psychology has shown that even 5 minutes of gratitude journaling increases happiness levels by up to 25%. This is not magic. It is alignment. The mind quiets, the heart opens, the body relaxes, and the signal you send out becomes steady. Anna in Los Angeles proved this truth. She used to spend hours each day on affirmations, visualizations, and multiple manifestation methods. The more she did, the more exhausted she felt. Then she made a decision. She let everything go and kept one simple ritual. Each morning, she wrote down 3 things she felt grateful for. Nothing more, no pressure, no overdoing. 2 months later, her boss called her in and surprised her with a promotion. That shift was not because of more effort. It was because of less, because simplicity allowed her energy to flow without resistance. This is why the most powerful practices are often the most direct. Simplicity removes the noise. It silences the ego's demand for control. It leaves only presence, only gratitude, only clarity. If you agree that simplicity is strength, write simple now and feel how light it makes your body. See how your breath slows when you realize you do not need to overcomplicate your path. You only need to align with the purest vibration inside you. That is why simplicity is not weakness but power. It is the essence of flow. But once you live in simplicity and presence, another question arises. What truly happens when you embrace this state and allow it to guide your life forward? Hifu Sora, Lo Banturk, Fantin Hu, Trong Sang, Nutfa, Fonchuan Gay, LPP, TIC. You stop chasing and begin receiving. You no longer wonder when it will happen. You feel as if it already is. This is the moment the universe listens, not to your words, but to your state. You do not get what you want. You get what you are. When you declare, I let it in, you send out the vibration of readiness, without doubt, without resistance. That is why it feels different in your body. The nervous system relaxes. The mind stops demanding proof. The heart opens. In this openness, life mirrors your being. Science supports this. Joe Dispenza's research shows that when the brain and heart synchronize, the body enters a state of creation. In this state, you attract opportunities that match your frequency. David from Boston discovered this truth. For years he prayed for love, searched for signs, and felt only emptiness. One day he shifted. He began to love himself, not as a task, but as a way of being. He stopped searching outside and instead radiated wholeness inside. Weeks later, without effort, he met his partner in a small cafe. No ritual, no chase, just alignment. This is magnetic being. This is the power of letting in. You are no longer running after outcomes. You embody them. You live in trust, and that trust becomes the doorway to everything you once longed for. If you feel ready, comment, I let it in. Let that be your signal to the universe that you are open. Like this video to anchor the energy inside your system. Write down what you choose today so the reflection of your choice becomes stronger. And take a breath of gratitude. Out of millions of videos, you are here, right now, with these words. That means your frequency has already guided you to the exact place and the exact moment you needed. You are not late. You are not missing anything. You are aligned. You are the signal. And when you are the signal, life has no choice but to respond.